What's up everyone, Mike here, and this video was inspired from an article that I read a couple days back called the 18 types of keywords that every marketer should know, and yes, that includes you. Now this article was meant more for Google advertisers, and I know that we are Amazon advertisers, so not all of the types of keywords are going to be applicable, but many of them are, and many of them are foundational to your knowledge and to your success as an advertiser on Amazon. So I'm going to link below to this article and make sure you read it. It's about a 7-minute read, and it's really going to help you to understand how to use the right keywords at the right time. Now keep in mind, this all goes back to the buying cycle, the customer buying cycle. When shoppers go on Amazon, they are at one stage in the buying cycle. They're either ready to purchase right away, or they're learning about it, or they're considering different options, or they're a past purchaser of yours, and you want to target them differently. So these keywords are going to be laid out in such so that you understand how to target shoppers based on where they are at in the customer buying cycle. So let's dive in. First, we have market segment keywords. So market segment keywords are generic keywords associated with an industry or brand. They are terms a target audience uses to search for general information within a vertical. Terms may be broadly associated with an industry or more defined by a niche marketing purpose. So for example, cat accessories. If somebody is typing cat accessories, then they probably are looking for a variety of different things, or they don't know specifically what they're looking for. It's a very broad term. And when you target these types of keywords, make sure that you have a budget, because this can become very expensive very quickly, because really it's not really niched down into exactly what you're selling. So it's a very wide reach. So next we have short tail keywords, and this once again goes with that discovery phase of the buying cycle. Short tail keywords are popular broad search terms that have a very high search volume. These terms are usually 1 or 2 words, and they are very competitive to rank for. So for example, running shoes. If somebody is typing in running shoes, well, are they looking for women's running shoes, white running shoes, or Nike running shoes? Like, what type of running shoe are they looking for? Well, we don't really know, because they're typing in running shoes, and all of the competition could be targeting running shoes. So it's a short tail keyword, very broad, very high competition, very expensive. Make sure you are smart about targeting this type of keyword. But yes, this is more in the discovery phase, because people are not telling you exactly what they are looking for. Next, we have broad match. So broad match keywords, the ad will show if someone searches for a similar phrase, singular or plural form, misspelling, stemming, synonym, or another related variation of the broad match term. So for example, if the broad match keyword shoes is used, you would show during searches for terms such as shoe, shoes for sale, shoe store, or buy shoes. So once again, this is casting the widest net, and thus is going to give you the most amount of impressions, and it's going to help shoppers to discover your product, because Amazon can show you with just that broad term. And if you use a single broad match keyword, that really casts a very wide net and can definitely fall in the discovery phase of the buying cycles. And it also can be very expensive. So keep in mind that not every one of you is going to need to do this, but this is something you could add on later on as you become a more sophisticated Amazon advertiser, or as you have a bigger budget. So next, let's dive into the consideration phase, or the evaluation stage of the buying cycle. This is when shoppers come to Amazon. They know generally what they want. They're more precise about what they want. And you want to find those targeted keywords to help make them choose your product over the competition. So let's go into those keywords. First, we have the customer defining keywords. Customer defining keywords are search phrases that identify a specific subset of customers or audience. In these searches, customers use words or phrases to define themselves. So they are defining themselves. Running shoes for women. Here they're looking at a specific type of running shoes, because they define themselves as a woman. So whereas before we were just using running shoes, that casts a really wide net. This hones in that target audience for women. It's still kind of broad, but not as broad. It's customer defining. Next, we have mid-tail keywords. Mid-tail keywords fall between head keywords, and I think they mean short-tail keywords there, which have a high volume of traffic but are highly competitive, and long-tail keywords, which have a small volume of traffic but with less competition and higher conversion rates. These terms are usually 2 to 3 words and have slightly more descriptive words than short-tail keywords. So for example, white running shoes. Now we used the example before as running shoes. Here we're using an example of white running shoes. Now all of the different white running shoes are going to show up. It's mid-tail. It's not long tail. It's not like white running shoes by Nike or Nike white running shoes or a specific type of Nike white running shoes. That would be more long tail. This is right in the middle. It's still defining what the shopper wants, and it's not overly broad, but it's not overly specific. Right in the middle as a mid-tail. Okay, so next we have phrase match. And phrase match is used really well in this sort of consideration phase of the buying cycle because we are identifying what we want to show up for when the shopper searches. And we're using that phrase and we're allowing the shopper to connect with any words before or after that phrase. So it's defined as the search query may have words that come before or after the phrase, but the exact phrase must be included in the search for it to show to searchers. So this means we are identifying what we want to show up for, and we're saying, Amazon, okay, as long as this is there, we want to show up. And once again, this is really starting to hone in on who our target audience is, and this is why I really like to use phrase match keywords. Now, we can use that in any stage of the buying cycle, but I really think it fits nicely right in the middle, right over here. Okay, so let's dive into more the purchase decision phase. This is for shoppers who are ready to make a purchase. Presumably, you want to go right at the very top of search. We want to show up when they are looking for this product right at the very top of search. So here we have long tail keywords. And my good friend David Goldstrom had an incredible graphic that he showed that the longer tail the keyword or the search term was, the lower the ACOS is. So basically meaning that if people know exactly what they want and they describe it out in a long tail keyword, then there's probably going to be a high likelihood that they find something that exactly matches what they're looking for. They will make the purchase right away as opposed to browsing. You know, they know what they want, they're going to find it and click it, get out of there. All right, so long tail keywords are defined as the longest search terms that are very targeted to a specific topic or audience. These terms typically have low search traffic and have low competition keywords, which makes them easier to rank for. Because they are more specific, they generally have higher conversion rates than head and mid-tail keywords. So example, full-length mirror with storage. If I'm just selling a full-length mirror, well, that's more of a mid-tail keyword, but if I'm then putting in full-length mirror with storage, that is very specific to what a shopper could be looking for. Yes, they still may browse around, but we want to make sure we show up at the very top of the search because they are being very specific in their wants and their needs. Next, we have exact match keywords. An exact match keyword is a specific keyword you target in a search campaign. Here we're going after the exact keyword that we want to convert for, presumably at the top of search. And we're saying, okay, this is very similar to what we're selling. Could be long tail, could be mid tail, maybe if it's even short tail, but we want to go after that because we know our ACOS is low and our conversion rate is good, and this is what we're selling. Or maybe we want to do it for ranking purposes. The point is, it's exactly what we're going after, so we can use an exact match for that. Next, we have things like transactional keywords. So this is pretty cool. This might be a little bit more for Google, but transactional keywords are described as do keywords. Users use these search terms when they are ready to make a purchase. Searchers use transactional keywords when they're in the conversion phase of the purchase funnel. They already know what they want to buy, and they use very specific buying keywords to help them find the right place to make their purchase. So for example, Prime Day TV sale. So in this example, if you're targeting that in your Amazon advertising, Prime Day TV sale, boom, you're showing up at the red top and you have a Prime Day TV sale that's very specific. They have identified they want to purchase, they want to make a transactional purchase right then and there. So this is a good example. All right, so next we have product keywords. Product keywords are terms related to specific brand offerings. These types of keywords are phrases that directly reference a company's products or services. Brands should have a keyword strategy for each of their products and services so customers and prospects can find their offerings through search. So you know that if they are searching for your product specifically, you want to make sure that you show up at the very top. Maybe they've done their information search elsewhere. Maybe they've searched through the competition, now they're coming back and they're looking specifically for your product. Make sure that you show up at the very top. This is more the decision phase. It could also be the post-purchase phase, which we are going to talk about right now. All right, so let's get to the post-purchase phase of the buying cycle. And this is actually quite easy. This is where shoppers who already know, like, and trust you are coming back. And you want to make sure that you use the right keywords in your Amazon advertising strategy to make sure that they don't stray anywhere else. So to do that, we're going to use branded keywords. And this is a really simple strategy. Essentially what we do is we use our brand name in phrase match. So this way, anytime a shopper uses our brand name, we show up. If they use a word before or after our brand name, we're going to show up at the very top of search. So they describe branded keywords as search phrases that include a brand's name or other branded terms. So for example, Nike running shoes. If I did a phrase match for Nike and somebody typed in red Nike running shoes, I would still show up. So this leads us into competitor keywords. So competitor keywords are types of keywords that target brand names of competing businesses, products, or services. It's beneficial for a brand to research competitor keywords because it gives the brand an opportunity to attract a similar audience of interested potential buyers. So for example, Nike, a competitor keyword could be Reebok running shoes. So yes, you can target your competitors' branded keywords. Just keep in mind, it's probably not going to be the most profitable, and if you need to have a deeper pocket to consider this as an option. And also keep in mind that you really want to protect your own brand first, because your competitors are probably going to target you, and you want to make sure that you show up above your competitors when somebody's typing in your branded term. All right, everyone, I hope that you found this video helpful. Now, we've been talking a lot about the customer buying cycle and how to tie everything all together with different strategies, different campaigns, now different keywords. And I wanted a way to have a one location where you can go to see all these different options. So we created a cheat sheet. I'm gonna put a link below to this cheat sheet. And essentially what this does is it shows you the different ad types and how to leverage all of Amazon's different tools, all of the different keywords to target shoppers based on where they are in the customer buying cycle. So definitely click on the link below to get your cheat sheet. So the video above is a video that we think you'll like, about 4 tips on how to get out of a rut if you're in an Amazon advertising rut. And the video below is a video that YouTube thinks you will like. And like always, if you need any help on your Amazon advertising, make sure you go to ppcentourage.com and we can help you out today. I'll see you all next week.